Okay, are you struggling with getting a payment back from your ex? Maybe you've paid a copay, you've paid a school fee, you've paid for some type of extracurricular, and your ex is dragging their feet on paying you back. Why? Either they're a deadbeat, or it's because there's no policy written into your parenting plan on when they have to pay you back. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about how you actually have a policy in your parenting plan and what needs to be in it so that it's clear and said in black and white about how you get your payments back. Okay, so you have a bill, and in your parenting plan, you need to figure out in your proposal how you're going to send that bill, how are you going to get the money back, and when does all this happen? So I've done this for 15 years, and we have a policy in ours that says as soon as I have a bill, I must send it within 14 days, and he has 30 days to pay me back, and I have to show him a receipt through email or through a parenting app. Parenting apps were not a thing back in the day for me, so it's through email for us. And that sounded and worked great for a long time. But what I realized quickly is that money is a trigger for a lot of people. It causes arguments, it causes hostility, it causes resentment, it causes negativity. It sucks the life out of co-parenting when you have to talk money with somebody that you just really don't want to talk money to. So I've kind of switched gears as I've been writing these parenting plans to make it more as a timely bill. And what I mean by that is the way I had it wrote in mine, and many do, is that within 14 days of paying for something, you must show a receipt. That sounds great until you get to a busy month like August, when school is starting, sports are starting, and all those doctor visits are happening. Your ex is getting hit with copay, half receipt. And literally the words have been said to me, send me one email and make the bleeding stop. I just want to be told once with all the receipt, how much it is, so I know how much I owe, and that's it. Because every time you send me something, I think I only owe this much. Then you add to it. And so boom, boom, boom. We're fighting, we're arguing, we're bitching at each other, and it's causing tension. So I've switched gears, like I said, and now in my parenting plans, I ask people, what makes sense for your family? For me, that every 14 days, not working. So I have switched to twice a month, the 1st and the 15th, the 15th and the 30th, but there's not a 30th of every month. So switch to 2 numbers a month, okay? Every other Friday. Every Friday, you want to have a date wrote down in which you are sending the receipts for the last 30 days on that day. Can it be once a month? Sure. The 15th of every month, the 1st of every month. You are sending all of the previous month's bills that are agreed upon in the proposal. You're sending them on that one day or that 2 days a month, or hell, 3 if you need to. Just have it set, because here's why. I know that my ex-husband gets paid twice a week or twice a month. So does he. And he likes to do his bills twice a month. Therefore, he can take out the money that he owes me for half the things he's made to pay for in our policy twice a month. I don't want to catch him on a week where he's already paid bills and he's frustrated that a new bill came in because it's not the time that he's doing his bills. So I know I'm going to try to make it easier for the both of us and only talk about money once a month or twice a month versus shit. I mean, in August, I swear it was like the 7th, and I sent him one on the 10th, and I sent him another one on the 12th, and he was just like, make it stop. So having this once or twice a month, it's scheduled. They know to be on the lookout on that 15th of, okay, she's going to be sending an email. There's going to be money talk on the 15th. I just know it because she's court ordered to send it on the 1st or the 15th. And this alleviates this whole, like, where's this bill coming from? Why'd you send it today? I sent it today because that's what our policy says. Our policy says for you to expect any bills for that month on the 15th. So pick a day, once a month, twice a month, on a specific couple days of month, or if you want to go old school and say every 14 days, I'm sending you the receipts. The next part is figure out, how are you sending the receipts? Is this electronically? Is this handwritten, hand given? I would say no to that. Now, I may give you a copy but I'm keeping the original and I'm sending it electronically on email to where it's documented. If I hand you a receipt, there's no proof I gave that to you. I have to do everything electronically. So I'm going to give it electronically with a copy of the receipt. Old school people that are my age and older, I used to have to send a copy of the check being returned back to the bank. And for some of you, don't even know what the fuck that means. But I used to have to send that the check was made, it was used, my money was used, and then I sent him the bill to prove that I actually did pay for it. So yes, that's true. Now we have when, we have how. Now we need to figure out, when are they paying you back? How many days do they get? And I want you to be clear here. I want you to be clear, and I want you to understand a couple of things before you make this decision. Number one, you have to realize, when do they have money? Now, I know some of you are saying it doesn't matter. If I've paid the bill, they have to pay it within 30 days. They have to pay it within 10 days. They have to pay within 7 days. I hear you. I hear you. But don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set yourself up for more court time. Pick something that makes logical sense. Now, understand this is a reimbursement. You are already out the cash. You already paid the copay. You already paid the registration fee. You already paid for the equipment, whatever it is, daycare, whatever it is that you're already broke. You've already spent the money. So how fast does this money need to come back to you? I know you want it back fast, but did you give this person any heads up that you were spending this much money? Did you give this other parent any heads up that there's going to be a copay? I need you to know who you have. I need you to know what kind of job they have. I need you to know, are they living paycheck to paycheck, or they got 6 figures coming in every other month? I need you to know who you're working with. It's great that you paid a bill and you expect payment back in 5 days. Do they have the money to pay you back in 5 days? Don't set yourself up for failure. I know you've already paid for it. I know you're like, oh man, I need that money back in my account. I do. I get it. But put a realistic time period back. And I'm just going to be honest. For some people, you have to allow a paycheck, a time period of a paycheck to come through. I can't send somebody a bill on Friday and expect payment on Monday. That's not real life. Some people are paycheck to paycheck. So know who you're dealing with. Okay. I also write in a stipulation that, hey, I'm going to give you a heads up if you're over 30 days late. Now, some people say this is secretarial. Some people say this is hand-holding. Some people say, you shouldn't have to do that. They're in contempt. They are in contempt for not getting back to me in 30 days. If it's day 40, if it's day 45, and I have not received that payment yet, I'm going to send a note that says, because I'm documenting, I'm going to send an email that says, reminder, your payment for this amount from this receipt was due 15 days ago. Please comply the next 5 days. Because if this goes to court, the judge, strike me if I'm wrong, will say, well, did you remind them? Yeah, you heard me. This is family court. This isn't criminal court. This is family court. A judge may say, but did you remind them? Did you ask them for the money again? I have to do that? Yeah. For some judges, you do. And do you know what your judge is going to be like? I don't know. I'm not going to take my chances. So I'm just going to do the job of saying, hey, you're 15 days late. You going to pay today, or are you going to pay by Monday? Please let me know which one. I'm going to ask a question that they have to answer. I'm not going to say you're late by 15 days. I'm going to finish with a question in hopes that I can get that person to answer with a response of when they are going to pay me back. Now, for some of you, you're going on 2 years of no payment. You might be up to $10,000 of no payment of things that they say in the divorce decree, in the parenting plan, that they are supposed to be paying half of. They're supposed to be, and they haven't been for years. I'm going to ask you, why haven't you done an action yet? Where's your action? The talk, and bitch doesn't do anything. Obviously, they know that all you're going to do is bark, and they can still not pay. You'll send a receipt. You'll bark. Where the hell's my money? You're supposed to be paid 30 days ago. And then they'll just ignore you until you take action, holding them accountable in contempt of court. They will do this to you from now until that child is 18. So I want you to go through and put a couple stipulations in your parenting plan. I want you to say things like, if either party, because this goes both ways. My ex-husband could go sign my child up for something and I would have to reimburse him. This goes both ways. If either party is not up to date on all reimbursements to the other party by 12/31 at midnight, Central Standard Time, whoever time zone you're in, the other party can claim all said children on taxes the following year. You can implement and ask your attorney to put in an interest rate. You have to have something that holds them to the fire to pay you back. And you talking and talking and talking and talking does nothing. They're used to it. They're used to it's a big bark with no bite. You have to do an action and have them take you serious. If you have young kids, do this early. Do this early. Once you have enough money that they owe you, that it makes it worth your while to go to court, hold them in contempt. If you have young or older kids like I do, 15 and 17, I'm going to be honest. After spending how much money I have spent on a divorce, I'm to the point now where, dude, it ain't worth it to come after $20 from you for a copay. If you're going to be that guy, be that guy. Like, I don't have the energy or the space. But if I had my 1 and 3-year-old when I got divorced again, oh, feet to the fire. Absolutely feet to the fire. So every family is different for what they pick for this policy. But the last part of this is, how do you get paid? How do you get paid? I have once observed, and I shit you not, I have observed a dad walk up to a mom and hand her cash for child support and copays. Cash. Now, me doing what I do, I couldn't help but speak up and say, does he know he shouldn't be giving cash like that? And she responded, yeah. Please don't exchange cash. And if you do, and that's your only form of money, go get a money check order from the bank. And that way it's documented. Ask for a receipt, have a witness, have something, but please don't be exchanging money, cash money. I want you to do anything that can be documented. I can give him an account number and he can deposit money into that account. I can give him my Venmo or my PayPal. I can do all kinds of electronic transfers versus cash. I can go old school and do a check, but cash is a no. Okay. So if you have somebody that you split bills with, it's so important that you have a policy about how you split bills with. What's the policy for giving the receipt? How are you giving it? What's the time frame? What's the time frame on the reimbursement? And how is the reimbursement being conducted? And what happens on 12/31 if they're not up to date? Now, surely you understand that you can't just blindsidedly at 12/31 be like, oh, didn't pay the $20 he owed me from August. That might not go over well in court. So I would be sending on December 1st. If you are not in compliance with our policy that says you have to have that $20 from August to me by 12/31 at midnight, reminder, I get to file all of the children on my taxes or whatever your stipulation is. There'll be interest, there'll be something, there'll be whatever it is, a charge. But you guys got to take more action instead of sitting back being the ATM machine. And if some of the things that I mentioned, like half of school supplies, half of extracurriculars, half of extracurricular equipment, half of all medical bills, half of premiums, half of life insurance, half of maybe a cell phone bill, half of a car insurance payment, if half of graduate, I mean, I could go on and on about the things that you could be splitting. And we're not even going to talk about child support. That's not this conversation because that's a whole other can of worms. We're talking about what do you have in your policy that you should be owing half of between you and your partner, or 60-40 or 70-30, like I mentioned. What's your proportional breakdown of what you owe? So make sure that policy is in there and use it. You follow the policy, hold them to the fire to follow the policy as well. So if you have liked this episode, please share it with somebody that you know is going through this battle, going through this divorce, going through this co-parenting journey, that they are just struggling with money issues with their ex. This will be helpful to them to hopefully amend their parenting plan and add that in. And like always, make sure you like and follow and share this with as many people as possible.